If you've been scrolling through housing headlines lately, you've probably seen it all. Texas is collapsing, builders are desperate, but just wait until the rates drop. But what if I told you the loudest headlines about the Texas housing market are the most misleading? Everyone's talking about a crash, but the real story isn't about falling prices. It's about power quietly shifting back to the buyers. NBC recently reported this is the strongest buyers market since 2013. Yet most people still think the market's doomed. So this is why I had to come to you live in my car so I could set the record straight. This so-called Texas housing market crash is actually giving buyers more leverage than they've had in a decade. Today, I'm exposing 5 lies about the Texas housing market everybody believes and showing you what's really happening behind the headlines. And at the end of the video, I'll share a few pro tips to help you avoid falling for them. Lie number 1, the market is crashing. You've seen the fear posts. People are walking away. The bubble is bursting. Here's what's real and here's what's not. Redfin found that 15.1% of U.S. home purchase contracts were canceled in August of 2025, the highest August since 2017. But 70% of those deals fell through because of the inspection or repair issues, not a panic. That means buyers are finally slowing down, asking more questions, and walking away from deals that don't make sense. Something that they really couldn't do in 2021. And while home prices have cooled, Forbes reports that they're still 1.7% year over year, the slowest growth in a decade, but still positive. That's not a crash, that's stabilization. Plus, homeowners are sitting on $35.8 trillion in equity, with nearly half of all mortgages considered equity rich. Slow doesn't mean sinking, it means sanity returning to the market. Lie number 2, renting always makes more sense right now. You probably heard this one a lot. With rates so high, renting is the smarter decision. And in some Texas cities like Austin, Dallas, and Houston, that's true for now. Monthly ownership costs can be higher than rent. But that's not the full story. Real estate is hyper-local, and whether renting or buying makes sense depends on where you live, how long you plan to stay there, and what your goals are. In more affordable areas like San Antonio, Killeen, Abilene, Waco, and Corpus Christi, owning can still be renting long-term, especially when you factor in tax savings and equity growth. So the real lie isn't that buying is cheaper. The lie is that renting is always smarter. If you're relocating to Texas and not sure where you want to settle, renting short-term can help you learn about the area. And I have clients that do that. But if you're staying 3 to 5 years, homeownership still wins in stability, control, and long-term value. Real estate in Texas is both local and personal. Your decision should be as well. Lie number 3, Texas is overbuilt. That's why builders are offering huge discounts. Drive through any new Texas neighborhood and you'll see it everywhere. Prices slash, 2.99% interest rate, $25,000 in free upgrades. You might think Texas must be overbuilt if builders are offering such great deals, right? But that's not true. Builders aren't panicking, they're adapting. After years of record demand, they're catching up with construction backlogs and using incentives to keep homes moving while rates stay high. They know buyers are cautious, so they're packaging affordability in a way that looks irresistible. Here's an example. A couple I worked with in Georgetown found a new home listed for $470,000. The builder offered $499 interest rate and $20,000 off the price. It sounded great until we did the math. That $499 rate was a temporary buy down that would then jump 6% after year 2. And the same floor plan that had been listed for $445,000 just a few months earlier. That discount wasn't a deal, it was marketing math. According to NBC News, 65% of builders are offering incentives, and many in Texas are using temporary buy downs to make payments appear lower. But you got to dig into those details, the numbers. And you have to read the fine print. That might be rolled into your loan or the price of the house. So essentially, you end up paying for that discount over time. Now, let's talk about the idea of Texas being overbuilt. The data tells a different story. According to the Texas Realtors, this is Q3 for 2025, the market stats, Texas has 4.7% of new homes of inventory statewide. Still below 6 months, which is what we consider a balanced market. There are over 35,000 active listings, up 15% year over year. Not an oversupply. The median home price is $339,000, down just 3% from last year, while closed prices are up 1.5%. Those aren't crash numbers. They're signs of a healthy correction. The market's cooling, not collapsing. Texas isn't overbuilt. It's rebalanced. Builders aren't desperate. They're adapting to a smarter, steadier market. Before you fall for the big discount signs, look closely at what's being offered and what it will really cost you long term, because the power's finally shifting back to you, and that's the real deal. Lie number 4, everyone is moving out of the state of Texas. You've heard it. Everyone's going back home, right? You've seen the headlines. People are fleeing Texas. The Texas dream is over. And yes, some folks are leaving, mostly those who bought during 21-22 frenzy and were hit by rising taxes and insurance. But Texas is still growing faster than almost any other state. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, Texas added roughly 473,000 new residents in 2024, the largest numeric gain of any state. And the U-Haul Growth Index ranks Texas third for inbound moves, right behind Florida and North Carolina. People aren't abandoning Texas. They're reshuffling within it. Many are moving out of Austin proper to places like Leander, Liberty Hill, Kyle, and Georgetown. In Dallas-Fort Worth, they're heading towards Prosper, Melissa, and Selena. In Houston, they're trading the inner loop for Katy, Cypress, and Richmond. And in San Antonio, families are moving north towards Bourne and Cibolo. An example, I had clients who moved to Austin in 21 from California. 2 years later, they sold their home near downtown, not to leave Texas, but to buy in Liberty Hill for more space and lower taxes. They didn't give up on Texas, they just found their version of it. The Texas dream isn't dead, it's just shifting. People are finding more affordable, balanced corners of the state to call home. Here I am again, keeping you on your toes. Let's talk about lie number 5. I'll just wait till the rates drop. This is one of those classic traps. I'll just wait until the rates hit 4% again. Even the pros warn against that thinking. Forbes reports that the Federal Reserve cut rates to 4% to 4.25% target range in September of this year, and mortgage rates dipped to their lowest level in nearly a year. Now, if you're wondering what is target range and what in the heck does it mean? It's basically the range the Federal Reserve sets for how much banks charge each other to borrow money overnight. When that range goes up or down, it indirectly affects mortgage rates, credit cards, and car loans. Experts say that even a small drop isn't enough to fix affordability. And if you wait for bigger cuts, you could face another surge of competition when everyone rushes back in. Every time rates fall, buyers flood back into the market and prices climb. Lower rates means higher demand, which erases all the leverage that buyers have right now. And returning to those super low rates that we had in 2021, honestly, I don't know if that'll happen again. If you buy now, you can always refinance later. If you wait, you risk paying tens of thousands more for the same home. You don't need perfect timing, you need a really strong plan. You can finance the rate, but you can't refinance the price you missed. Real talk. Okay, I want to give y'all some tips before I wrap this thing up. Let's talk about something that housing videos really skip. Real estate is hyper-local. I'll say that 1,000 times, and it's very personal. National trends don't always match what's happening in your city, town, or even your subdivision. And not everyone is ready to buy a home right now at this time. Your timeline depends on your circumstances, your job, your finances, your goals. The smart move isn't to rush because of fear. It's to decide if it's right for you. So before you buy, research everything, okay? Talk to an agent who truly knows the area and is looking out for your best interests, not just the sale. Meet with a lender to fully understand not just what you can afford at closing, but what your monthly costs will be even after closing, and if it's right for you right now. This isn't just a house, it's the largest investment you'll ever make. And you deserve to make that decision with clarity and confidence. The real truth about Texas real estate. The market isn't crashing, it's correcting. Renting isn't always safer, it's just short-term comfort. Builder incentives aren't desperation, they're strategic. People aren't leaving Texas, they're finding better versions of it. According to Forbes, crash risk remains low. Inventory is balancing and homeowner equity is at an all-time high. Texas is entering a healthier, more sustainable housing cycle, one where informed buyers hold the power. Hey, have you been really thinking about moving to Texas and you want to really walk through what's truly happening? My team and I would love to be able to talk to you about what's going on. Did you find this video helpful? Then hit that like button. And if you're feeling my vibe, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so that you don't miss a thing. And I'll see y'all on the next one.